Hi there and welcome to the Business Builder System. I'm Rich Wainwright, and today I'd like to introduce Caroline from the HR department, who are a national partner of Action Coach and a partner of the Business Builder System. And today's session is really just about introducing Caroline, what they're brilliant at, and what benefits they have for you as a business owner in the local area. So Caroline, would you like to introduce yourself and the HR department?
Sure, thank you, Rich. Yeah, so hello, I'm Caroline, and I'm a licensee of the HR department. The HR department is the UK's largest network of HR professionals, and we provide outsourced HR support. So that sounds very grand, and it does mean that we have a huge amount of resource and talent within our pool. But because it operates like a franchise, we're the licensee for Cambridge and North Herts. It does mean that although there are lots of us, we have our own businesses, which we operate locally. And so our service is very local, it's very personal, and that's the approach that we kind of pride ourselves on. And so our clients, all are in our territory, range from tiny startups, family businesses, to established brands across all industries.
Okay. So I guess as the national provider, the franchise sort of system, the license system, then I'm just trying to think, why would someone want to come to the HR department rather than come to a sort of standalone HR professional? I guess the group think, the economies of his scale, I bet there's stuff happening at HQ level that will be beyond the reach of an independent operator. Yeah.
Absolutely. So yes, the good thing about the way that we operate is we do operate on a very small scale, so we are very adaptable, we're very flexible. But yes, because we're part of the HR department, we have a huge army of HR professionals to support us. We have the head office in Bristol, so we've always got people who are keeping up to date with legislation. We've got lots of support. If I didn't know the answer to something, and let's face it, no one HR solution is the same for every single situation. I've got lots of colleagues, lots of different licensees that support me, and obviously the people in the headquarters and a team of solicitors there as well that we work with. So we are very well armed.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I'm part of the Action Coach franchise. I'm a licensee with the Value Builder System. Similar for me, although I've been with the organisations for 13 years, I can still lean on HQ support, groupthink from the 200 coaches in the UK. The fact the business has been around for 25 years, it's got such a depth and breadth of knowledge. And I suppose people who are in the financial world will look at, say, St James's Place as a similar sort of organisation. The
Yeah.
pool of resource give them so much depth from the HQ that you can all lean on. Okay, that's fantastic. So, well, tell us a little bit more about the local aspect then. This is your business, and who's in the business? Tell me a little bit more about what you've got in say, Cambridge and Lincolnshire.
Cambridge and North Herts.
Sorry, not Cambridge and North Herts.
Yeah. So within our territory, we have myself, who works full time, and then I have Karen, who works with me, who works part time, and Sue also works part time. Sue actually founded she was the founder licensee, but now works in the financial part of it. And Karen and I will be the people that you talk to if you phoned us up or emailed us. So we get to know our clients very, very well. We've got about 70 clients.
Yeah.
And it does mean that when we give advice to our clients, because it's just me and Karen, we know who we're talking to. We can picture their business because we've been out to see them. So our advice is very sort of facing their business.
So essentially a national framework of employment law support and best practice, but then right down to feet on the ground, local representation.
Absolutely.
To know your local business community and the businesses within it.
Yeah, and we're lucky because of the HR department. As you said, we have lots of partners as well. So it's not only HR, but if somebody needs occupational health advice we have links to that. If somebody wanted a payroll service, links to that, training, recruitment. So we are lucky to have a lot of resource around us as well.
Okay, so thinking from a business owner's point of view, what would prompt a business owner to pick up the phone and call you? Now, anyone watching this might be thinking, oh, I've got an unruly employee I want to get rid of, I want to sack someone or fire someone. I mean, that's probably a bit of a cliche in a way, but what are some of the ways that you help? Yeah, I'm going to ask that question. I'll come back to another question.
Okay.
What are some of the things that you do and can do and on a regular basis that really, really do help a business owner?
Well, so there was a couple of questions there in one. So first of all, about a business owner, well, why would they be sitting there thinking they would need to come to us? Well, I guess you don't know what you don't know till you know it, or whatever that saying is, or until a claim or a grievance or an issue lands on your desk, and then you think, oh wow, I don't know where to go with this. And that's where we come in. So lots of people come to us because there's an issue, and that starts their relationship.
So they're reacting to something that's happened and gone,
yeah,
and then
absolutely.
Okay. And usually that's some kind of disciplinary, or that the prompt is a grievance of some kind.
Something happens and they, well, we need a little bit of help here. But likewise, we also get lots of people come because, and this is quite often, that people start growing a business and they love their business. They love working in their business. They love developing, growing their business, and that's what they enjoy doing. And as it grows and they're successful, they take on more people, and all of a sudden they've got a team of people working for them, and a whole way. We need some proper employment contracts. We need some policies put in place, just to give them a real good grounding. And that's where we come into it, because just because you're the business owner, it doesn't mean to say that you're going to like all aspects of business, and HR is one of those tricky areas of business. So that's where we come in. We take that away. You let us deal with your, work with you and look at your employment law contracts, your handbooks, policies, any ongoing HR support, and leaves the business owner free to get on with doing the thing they love.
So it's like there's a compliance element to this as a business owner in terms of HR law, in terms of that level of documentation. So if you haven't got it, come to the HR department and they will provide it, and I suppose tailor it to your specific business, but make sure you're complying with relevant legislation. But if it's a bit old, it's a bit dusty, you had to blow some dust off it the last time you looked at it, you help bring it up to date, that kind of thing as well. So
yes, absolutely.
People have been reacting to some kind of grievance or problem, they may pick up the phone. There's the compliance element that everybody needs to be on top of as well. There's a few other things that are fairly regular in what would prompt someone to come to you.
Well, we get a lot of people come to us because they've been recommended. So they think, actually, as I said to you before, people don't know what they should be doing, or they're scared of saying things to employees because they don't know if they can say those things. There's so much legislation, which is ever changing. Employees' rights seem to be getting more and more. Diverse workforces, you've got the gig economy, the worker status, even things like now after COVID coming back to work, we're going to have a hybrid work system. We need home working policies. There's a huge range of things. As the law changes, people get scared that they're going to say the wrong thing, and often they won't, but it's quite reassuring to know that.
Are we allowed to turn the photocopier off at the Christmas party?
Exactly.
That's always a worry. But I suppose the compliance stuff, the booklets, the contractual work, responding to a grievance procedure, that kind of stuff, that's kind of like maybe like a one-off, one or two off. It's a short engagement for you. But what about, I obviously I build businesses, and we get to a point when we're building businesses where there's enough work. The work becomes too complex to require someone that can be done by the current team. There's an element we can outsource. There's not enough of that work for us to employ, particularly in a specialist role. And for a lot of business owners, if it's not directly revenue generating or product exiting stuff, they're hesitant. So what about sort of looking at this as you as a retained service within a business, as an outsourced member of, you're their outsourced HR person.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, and that is primarily what we do. That's our most popular service. Just to go back to the beginning though, with the contracts and the handbook, what we would do at any sort of the start of any journey is to review those. So if you wanted to talk about our services, we review your handbook, review your contract. Are they fine? Yeah, it's absolutely fine. Or they need a bit of tweaking. Or, oh my goodness, we need to get those compliant for you. And once they're done, yes, they are done, but things change all the time. Policies change all the time. Just for example, I said about the home working, the hybrid working policies, all those kind of things change all the time. When we had the data protection, the GDPR thing, 2018, that changed. So things do change all the time. Legislation changes. So when you're on the advice line, we make sure that they're constantly kept compliant and updated. So that's one of the things that we would do on an ongoing basis.
Okay.
But yes, the HR advice line is our retained service. So we offer unlimited support, employment law, HR support by phone, by email. So you can contact us as many times as you want. It's a sort of a monthly subscription, and we will help you. We'll go through any issue that you've got from, well, somebody's resigned or we haven't seen them, to we've got somebody off absent with mental health issues. We have we need to make people redundant. We need to recruit loads of people. We need to transfer people in. All those things. We do the whole kind of HR remit, and we'll help give advice and follow that up with any letters, forms, whatever that you need.
Okay, so this has just got me thinking. Historically, a business owner had their accountant and their banker and their lawyer. Now it's ABC, their accountant, their banker, and their coach, of course. But the trouble with law is it's become so specialist and so niche that a lawyer can't cover the full breadth of law, and you've got specialist lawyers, employment law, IP, property, etc., etc. Are the days of an employment lawyer per se diminishing in a sense, and an organization like yourself, the HR department, of which employment law is a part but not the whole, becoming more important to business owners?
I guess it depends how big the company is and how much they need employment advice. I think that I feel like from an HR point of view and an employment law point of view, there's rarely anything that we have to speak to our solicitors about. We won't like me for saying that. Obviously they are there, and that's invaluable for us if we need them. But generally speaking, we can come back and address, I would say, 99.9% of all issues that our businesses ask of us. But if we can't, then we've got our colleagues, and we've got them there, and that's the beauty of the HR department. So yeah, I don't know if their work would diminish. I guess there's always still work for them to do. They must be doing well, I guess.
Yeah, I guess it just seems to me there's a contextual approach to employment law. There's the law, but then the context of how that applies, and when you're closer to a business and you're getting to know them, it's got to be helpful.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and again, this is one of the things that we pride ourselves on. We know our clients very well, so and yes, we'll follow the law, but we'll say to our clients, what do you want to achieve?
Yeah.
You know, we're not going to just reel off the law to them. We're trying to get real business focused objectives sorted for them. So I'm not going to say, well, you have to have a panel interview and you have to do this and that if I know there's only 3 people in that company. So yes, we do tailor the advice we give because we know our clients.
Yeah.
And it is very business focused.
Yeah.
To work with the clients to get them to where they want, obviously within the parameters of the law and best practice.
I always enjoy that part when I'm working with a client and we talk about something, and I'll always say, caveat, remember it's got to be compliant with employment law, speak to a specialist.
But we'll always try to get business owners where they want to be. And if they say to us they want to do something that is outside the parameters of the law, we'll obviously point that out. And it's their business; they can do that if they want to.
It's up to them to judge the risk and make the decision.
Absolutely.
And, you know, if they want to sack that person, there may be an ET, and they might be 10K out of pocket. But it's their decision if they want to do it that way rather than go through the process.
Yeah. And we try to give them options so that they know that.
Yeah. Oh, fabulous. So we covered a bit of ground in a slightly roundabout way, I guess, maybe a reflection of where my brain's jumped with some questions. Is there anything I've missed that you'd really like to make sure that business owners who are watching this, make sure they understand or know?
I guess as it's worth saying that, our main thing that we do is the HR, the retained service. But we do recognise that not everybody wants a retained service. So we've started to do various different packages, and we work with clients to try to hone in on what they actually want and need, rather than just say, well, this is what we do, this is off the peg, and if it doesn't quite fit, well, it'd be all right. So we do work very closely with people, especially when they're new to us, to make sure that what we're offering is fit for purpose.
Yep.
So we have things like with flying start packages, which are for new companies. So we might be looking at some contracts and some policies, maybe a job description, or actually we've got one particular issue that we want addressed, and then we want a policy on that. So we can, and that's the beauty again of us being kind of a small team.
Yeah. We
can say, yeah, we can do that, we can tweak that, and we can not do that, and we can do this because that's what fits your business. So I think that's something that we've got better at doing. Yeah. Every year we do a client survey, so we listen to what they say, and we are always responding to what our businesses need. And because we are small, we're very adaptable and flexible, so we can move quickly, we can change quickly to make sure that as law changes and as our businesses evolve, some of them may have started as small businesses, they're evolved, they need changing things, we can adapt to that.
Oh, fabulous. So you've mentioned retained a few times, and I can hear business owners' minds going, retained, what does that cost? So is there a framework, a starting point? What can you tell a business owner about the retained service that would make them go, oh, blimey, it's crazy not to go for that?
Well, I guess there's different things to weigh up, isn't there? Is the business big enough to have their own HR department? And quite often for SMEs, which is who we work with, then it's not. Sometimes we actually do work with HR teams. We've got some clients who have HR teams, have HR directors that we work it with.
Sorry to jump in on that, just to give some context. What would you be looking at salary-wise for a competent HR person? So for a business owner to say, right, I want someone in-house who can handle 80% of the stuff that happens from a HR perspective in the business. Obviously, there's the 20% they'll need to sort of reach out for. But what's a business owner going to be thinking in terms of a salary for a competent person, that sort of level?
I don't know, 65 maybe. I don't know.
Okay. Yep,
I've kind of made that up.
We're talking, probably it'll certainly be likely for I don't know, let's say the micro end, the small end of SME, probably one of their biggest hires in terms of a salary. So we're talking for that level of expertise, a fair chunk.
Yes.
So I just want some context for when you then say what the return service is. So you can go 65 grand on someone to come in and be in your business full time, or you can get the return services of the HR department.
Yes. Starting at. I think so. It depends on how many employees you have. So it's in brackets. And also what I haven't mentioned is it's backed by legal expenses insurance.
Yep.
So if it's massively a kind of peace of mind that if you follow this process and everything still goes wrong, or what normally happens is the employee still wants to sort of take their chance and make a claim, then it's covered by legal expenses insurance. So we bring in our team of solicitors, and it is a huge weight off business owners' mind. So that's included within that as well. And the prices start from £135 a month. Right.
So let's just say 60k. My rough maths, that's 5k a month, or 135.
135
a month, or 5k. Over to you, business owners. What do you think?
And also, it's worth saying as well that it's difficult, because if you've got a team of HR people, you've got the business director maybe strategizing and doing sort of more difficult things. You've got somebody who's more operational. You've got the administrator, and the HR director, who you're paying 60-odd thousand to, is not really going to want to do a resignation letter and things like that. We do it all. Yep. We will do everything from helping you to accept a resignation, to dealing with a TUPE transfer or a redundancy, or doing a settlement agreement. So, and everything in between.
Yeah. No, I mean, it
sounds fab, doesn't it?
Yeah. It is crazy not to. So I suppose, how do people engage with you then? So when I produce this video, I'll have contact details underneath. Of course, I'll get your details to ensure that it's right. But how would someone's watching this now and they just want to get in touch? What do they need to do?
Well, they could go on to hrdept.co.uk, and we have a great website, and they can negotiate their way around it, but there's loads of stuff on there. But if not, they can just go straight to where their local office is and get in touch with the person in the local office. They can phone, email, there's a form that they can fill in. So there's lots of ways they can get in touch.
So if someone's watching this in Wales, they would need to engage with their local HR department. Not because Caroline was amazing, I want to talk to Caroline. They would need to go to their local.
Yeah.
But if you're in Cambridgeshire or North Herts, then not Lincolnshire, Rich, North Herts, then Caroline's the person.
Yes, and all you do on the website is put your postcode in, and it will tell you who that person is, and with the number and contact details.
I'll ask you afterwards what we can put underneath for a more direct call for you. Brilliant. Okay, well look, that's hugely enlightening. I hope everyone's got value from it. Is there anything else you want to add, Caroline? Have we got it about right there?
I think so. I think we've covered everything. Thank you for your questions. They helped me.
It's enough to get people a little bit interested in the fact that there's some compliance that needs to be right. If your legal documents are not in a good place, you're exposed. I think there's a vulnerability there. So definitely a case for every business owner to check their legal minimum requirements in terms of being an employer. And then obviously from there, that's the pillar of the employment part of their business. The rest of the stuff can grow from there. But if at the very least, people should be getting in touch to make sure they're compliant, and then to look at saying, okay, well, it's worth having you guys at the end of the phone for any eventuality.
Absolutely. And that, people don't have to join the advice line if they're worried about being compliant. we can do a free review of their contracts. So, just get in touch, we'll review them for free.
Brilliant.
And that's free.
If you're watching this, pick up the phone now. And I look forward to, I look forward to our association, and I look forward to hearing the feedback from everyone who's seen this. So thank you again, Caroline. All the very best for the rest of this year. And yeah, say hi to Sue for me.
I will do. Thank you.
Cheers then. Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.